We never got my fucking my Facebook.
This
Are
is
my
from the
friends
big
see that I'm
house
on
to
or
the
no?
penthouse.
No, you gotta share it
podcast. Stories
from
of
the
addiction and
podcast
recovery. The lie is dead. We do recover.
What's going on,
What's
everyone?
up, man? What's happening?
Welcome back to another episode of From the Big House to the Penthouse, Stories of Addiction and Recovery.
And more recovery than addiction. Yeah.
As always, your host is Enrique Ricky Cruz.
Yes, my co-host Raul Moreno. What's up, brother?
Man,
What's
not
happening?
much, man. What's going on?
Shoot, man, it's all you. We're talking about that car show y'all did this weekend.
Man, it was amazing just to be part of that, bro.
Man, I saw that. So there was a lot of
Yeah.
people, a lot of cars, a lot
It
of hot
was.
rods. Yeah, y'all
Man.
raised quite a bit of money, I heard.
They did. Yeah.
Did they?
We just wanted to go. We were asked to go from the other show and,
Uh-huh.
just to represent. And
Mhm,
we
mhm.
did the thing, man.
What show would you? What show are you talking about that you were showed to go from?
Charlie Mike, the podcast.
Oh, right.
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
So we went because it was
Y'all
mili-
broadcasted from there,
we,
right?
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was military related. So
It was military.
yeah.
You're right because it's Wounded Warriors.
No, it's
Or what is that?
wheelchairs for warriors.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay.
Man.
All right. So there's a lot of need. I mean, I guess the Wounded Warriors would need wheelchairs, and I didn't know it was just regular. It's not just regular wheelchairs either.
Nah,
I thought it's
man.
like an electric wheelchair.
They got wheelchairs for everything.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're a hunter or a hiker or things like
How about
that.
a gatherer?
What's that?
Well, I'm sorry. When people say hunter and then you say hunter gatherer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That went
I'm
over
sorry.
my head, bro.
But and then it's not. I'm not making. But,
No,
yeah.
you're all
So, but yeah. So they have these things for all kinds, right? For wounded warriors and stuff like that.
Yeah, they cater to first responders and
First
military.
responders too, right?
Yeah, so if they were hurt or they can't get around too well,
Right.
sometimes the medical side takes months, maybe even years,
Mhm.
and they try to do it faster. But
Right.
these aren't like some bullshit wheelchairs that you go get.
No, I saw that. They're like electric and battery packed and all that stuff.
Yeah, some of them cost up to like 10 G's, bro.
Really?
So it goes up from there, and
Oh, wow.
and it's just it's crazy.
Wow. So listen, man, I've got. You told me a couple of days ago that we have a special guest, man. You want to introduce your guest? Because I actually don't. I don't know him as well as you do, Ian. From what I understand, yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna introduce everybody.
Yeah.
So this is this is Zach.
Mhm.
Zachary Walker. He's a good dude, man. And he's come a long way. And I'm not gonna lie, man. If you
Mhm.
would have asked me about a year ago to have him on the podcast, I would have said no.
No. Not no, but hell no.
Yeah, hell
really?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that?
Man,
Why,
I mean, because we met under crazy circumstances
okay.
and we became friends.
Right.
And we had the same issue
Uh-huh.
where we don't know when to say when.
Right.
And alcohol leads into other things.
Uh-huh.
And we would start with drinking and then
Uh-huh.
somehow end up in the drug scene.
Right. Right.
So
okay.
it was always that
Was
way.
there ever any midget prostitutes that would be involved in that or no? Zach, no. He says no.
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 missed that
No.
one?
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think- did we?
The midget prostitutes.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
No, and but we were just reckless
He's
with
like,
it.
Zach turns his no. No. No.
So we were real reckless with
Uh-huh.
it, man. We I think we both had a lot of issues
Mhm.
and we were numbing the pain as
Mhm.
far as the best way we knew how,
Right.
which wasn't the answer, but
Mhm.
I mean we've carried each other out of places.
Mhm.
We've gotten each other out of fights.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay.
We've gotten each other into fights.
Uh-huh. And out of fights.
Yeah.
Really.
We've done it all. You name
Mhm.
it, we've done it.
Mhm.
And but I got sober.
Mhm.
I got sober and you know, at the beginning when you start your clean and being sober, you feel like you can help everybody, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
you want to go and teach your friends and stuff what you've learned.
mhm.
And I reached out to him. Well, we've always had a relationship, even through when I started sobriety or my clean day before, shit, years before.
Uh-huh.
And I still would check on him, go by his house, make sure he's all right,
Right,
grab some
right, right.
food, whatever the case may be. But I would always call him and be like, "Hey man, you sober?"
Yeah.
You know what
You
I
didn't
mean?
want him partying when you showed up. Yeah,
I wouldn't partake in any of that. I
Right,
didn't want
right.
him around. Well, because one, he's loud as
right.
and he says the most like fucking you think about it,
Hmm.
you know how you think about it and you have a censor it, you say, oh, that's probably not
He's
the
not
best way.
censored.
He doesn't do that.
Right.
So he thinks about it and he says it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Right.
like, oh dang, like that.
So
guy.
he's kind of like me. He reacts first and thinks about it later.
Yes,
Yes.
but even when it comes to the most
Even after he thinks about it later, he's still fucked
yeah,
up.
the most inappropriate
Yeah,
things, bro,
yeah.
he'll still
Yeah.
say it out
Yeah,
loud.
Yeah.
And no matter who's around.
Right.
He still does that,
Uh-huh.
but he's not as
So
bad.
I take it he didn't get invited to too many parties the second time, right?
No.
Zach? Yeah.
He
The first time
didn't.
it was like, yeah, come on, man. The second time it's like, Zach will scratch him off the fucking
Yeah.
party. Just scratch him off the goddamn list. Yeah.
So when
Uh,
when I had him,
Okay.
when I used to bring him around,
Uh-huh.
I used to introduce him like, this is Zach.
uh-huh.
He's a hell of a sober guy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Because
No, I don't know.
he's-
You lost me.
He's a hell of a guy when he's sober or not on any substances.
Right. Well, a lot of us are.
Well,
Raul.
well,
A lot of us are.
That's
you know?
what I meant.
Yeah.
Because people never understood. Like I'm 2 years and some change at this time.
Right.
No, not right now.
Mhm.
Shit, I'm about to hit 3 years next month.
No. Already?
Yeah, bro.
Oh wow.
So I would bring him around, and
Mhm.
people were like, "Why are you hanging out with this crazy fool?"
Mhm.
I said, "Because he's a hell of a guy when he's
When he's sober.
sober."
Okay.
So that was the way I introduced him,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't ready at the time
Uh-huh.
to proceed and being clean and sober. He wasn't ready, and you can't help people unless they're ready to
Okay.
help themselves.
No, absolutely. Right.
And I guess I don't want to tell too much of your business, but I want you to say it. But he kind of spiraled
Okay.
from. I mean, it got worse.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I always checked on the dude. Now, I want Zach to tell his story.
Zach, is he going to? He's going to tell us his story, huh?
Zach.
So, Zach? Are you going? Is he going to start from the beginning, or what are we going to do? We'll let him. So you. This is the official introduction, right?
Yes.
All
so,
right, Zach, introduce yourself. I mean,
Ricky,
come on,
Zach,
Ricky.
Ricky.
Yeah. Well, officially, how's it going, Zach?
It's all right, man.
All right, man. Come on up to the microphone, man, so we can hear you well.
All
Introduce yourself, Zach. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
right. My name's Zach Walker. I don't know. I'm an alcoholic.
So you do admit that you're an alcoholic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. When did you? Now let me ask you this, and not to interrupt you. And I'm sorry. Raul told me to quit interrupting people.
No, do it.
But no, now you say do it. But behind the scenes, I quit interrupting people. When did you? Because me, I was 40. I'm 53. I was 40. I was 41. I think I was 41 or 42 when I admitted that I had a problem and I was a recovering. That wasn't a drug addict. That was a recovering drug addict, or that I had a drug problem.
Right. Okay. So
Okay.
I had admitted that
Mm-hmm.
a long time ago. I was
You admitted it to who? To yourself?
myself.
To yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say a long time ago, what is your long time ago? And do you mind? How old are you now?
I'm 36.
Oh, you're 36. So you're 36. How old were you when you first admitted to yourself that you were an alcoholic? Or you had,
I would say not even really with alcohol. When I first started smoking marijuana,
Mhm.
that's when I knew I wanted to be. I wanted to change the way I feel for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
So I was in it for good.
Okay. So what's the difference between, to me, the first time I smoked marijuana, hell, that I didn't, all I knew, I was like 14, 15.
Mhm.
And I was just like, hey, man, some friends were smoking it. I figured I'd smoke because I want to be kind of cool and I want to be part of the gang, right?
Right.
So I smoked and I was like, oh, damn, this was pretty fucking good, man. You know what I mean? And then I was like, it was kind of cool and I liked it. It changed and I was part of something. I was part of some people, you know what I mean? And then, and stuff like that. And I actually, marijuana really wasn't my thing. It just made me nervous, made me paranoid, and the drinking was better for me. But anyway, that was not till later on that I, for me, you know. So anyway, I interrupt you. Go ahead and tell us.
No, you're good. So I didn't really know that it was a problem until I was about 22.
Okay,
I couldn't sleep
with
without-
marijuana,
Well, with alcohol.
with alcohol. Okay,
Yeah, alcohol got me to the point where I was like, hey, wait a second.
right.
Because I couldn't sleep without drinking.
Hmm.
I was always, I couldn't sleep until I was blacked out drunk. So I actually started going to Alcoholics Anonymous when I was 22.
How when you were 22, you went. So did you go or were you sent?
No, I went
On your own, on
On
your
my own
own free
accord.
will. You said, man, I got a problem, man. I'm just going to, and somebody said, hey, there's an AA shop, right? Or there's a AA whatever, right?
Yeah,
And you looked it up and you went by yourself.
right. A friend
No kidding.
took me. She was going.
So a friend, now I have to ask you this,
Absolutely.
man. Okay, here we go. Now, this friend of yours, did she have a problem?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I'm just going to go and ask because were you?
Well, I can't speak for her.
No. I'm not talking about. Now I'm going because I'm just gonna ask. I'm very a little. Were you going to AA just to try to get with her?
I see what you did.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you why I went.
Well, were you?
Hey, I'm just saying. Look, man. This
No.
is, and you don't. Yeah. If you weren't, no, you weren't. And if you were, you were. I mean, and you don't. And if you don't want to say no, I'm just saying. Me, when I went.
Yeah.
When I was going to the meetings, man, I was putting perfume on, man. I was gonna get me a chick.
Right.
This is my story. That's my story. And
Yeah.
so my story makes me want to ask if other guys were probably doing that too,
Yeah.
following a chick somewhere. Sometimes when I want to get with a chick, man, I'll go to fucking cooking classes, man. You know what I mean? So I just have to ask. But no, you went because you authentically had a problem that you wanted to take care of. It wasn't because you were following this fine looking chick to the rooms.
I mean, yeah, but we had already made it there before I started going to Alcoholics Anonymous with her. So it wasn't the reason that led me in. I saw that she was going,
Mhm.
and I was like, hey, I'm gonna.
She's
check
getting
this out.
something good.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's changing her. So it changed. You noticed that there was a change in her life coming
Right.
from what she was doing.
Right.
Cool. Right.
and I
Okay.
went
That's that
to
attraction they
meetings.
talk about, Raul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm not talking about that type of attraction.
Yeah.
I'm past that, Zach. I'm past that part. I tell you, he's still stuck on there, man.
Yeah.
Nah, man. You're off the hook on that one already, bro. Go. Keep going, man.
So,
Uh-huh.
so I started going
Uh-huh.
to Alcoholics Anonymous. I did it for 2 years. I never really made it past 30 days or so sober.
Really? So
I
what went on
wasn't
those
really
20
ready.
something days? What went on in your and when you were trying in the beginning? I'm interested about hearing, our audience is interested about hearing that. What was your mental state? Were you thinking, man, I'm gonna do this thing, my life's gonna change? Tell us about all that. Well, you were still your train of thought.
Yeah. So I would go and I would listen and I would pick things up,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a really good message. But I still had resentments towards God, and that's something that they talk about a lot in
Right.
Alcoholics Anonymous. And I couldn't really understand that part of it, so I never really worked steps 2 and 3 quite right.
That is the
And,
thing about,
yeah.
but the difference between AA is very spiritual. Well, we're spiritually, what you call it too, right? But they actually talk about God, right? See the difference between, and I respect AA, right?
Right.
And their believings or whatever, which is our traditions are almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same. The only difference is the alcohol and the drugs.
Mhm.
But what they do talk about God, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We use a higher power because we don't want to offend anybody, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? So that's the difference between, in my opinion, between AA and NA. So you had that problem. So you had that problem with the God. that they were following.
Right. And I say
In
God
the circle,
because
you're
that's
right.
what they threw around a
Of
lot.
course, right?
But
Absolutely.
in all actuality, it should be referred to as a power greater than yourself. It does not,
Right.
it does not have to be God. And
Right.
that's what turned me off a lot,
Mhm.
because if you're not in, say, like an inpatient, setting, or with trained people that know to say, hey, don't refer to it as this,
Mhm.
then a lot of people just throw God out there. And that's what I had a big problem with. And I was
Right.
like, I just couldn't get it. And it turned me off.
Mhm.
And I wanted it, but I kind of didn't. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I was only 22 at the time anyway.
Mhm.
So I just kind of quit going and, went back to my old ways.
Mhm.
And yeah,
So what happened the
that was
first
end of
time after the 20 something day? How did you get back into the booze? What happened? Did something happen? Was it a Friday night and you're like, well, it's Friday and you didn't really mean to have a beer, but you accidentally had one and then you're like, oh fuck, I ain't going back,
No,
right? How did
I've
you the
never-
first time?
I've never been like that. There's no
No.
accidents. If I want to get tore down, I'm gonna do it. That's just me.
So when you're saying that the first time you knew you premeditated that you were, if that's the word I'm looking for, that you knew you were going to drink. So
Right.
days before you drank, you knew you were going to drink.
Yeah, or
Yeah?
not necessarily days before. It's just if I wanted to do it, I was going to do it. Yeah, so there was at that time. I mean, there was no.
Because the reason I
premeditation.
say this is because some people say in the program that I've heard other people say that if you're thinking about using, it's
Mhm.
they kind of can. Some people consider that already a relapse. You know what I mean? Did you know that?
Yeah, that's a mental.
That's what the mental relapse. Yeah. So anyway, so you can you remember the first time that you relapsed from going to the first meeting, putting those 30 something days together, and then drinking and throwing that out the window, those 30, 20 something days?
Not
No,
really.
No?
It was a long time ago.
I can remember. Can I tell you mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 20 something. I was early 20s. Robert is 30 years old, my
Mhm.
son. I'm 52. So I was 22, right? He is that right? Is that the math right?
Let me check the math.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 30
that's
plus
right.
20. Yeah, it's
That's
52.
right.
Yeah, 53. I went to AA because, dude, I was my Robert's mom was gonna leave me. She was tired of my shit. I mean, I was a screw up, dude. I'd drink and then I'd pass out. I'd offend people, get into fights.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning, don't know who I offended. I would offend. I think you heard me share this before, Raul. I would offend my family, man. I would wake up in the morning going, oh man, I know I did something fucked up. A torn shirt was a big
Sound
giver,
familiar?
right? The what do you call the thing on your shirts? What's it called? The collar torn was a good indication. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started going to AA and at St. Helen's Church. And in fact, they still have those
They
meetings.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Friday night. So I started to go, man. I put a year together. Dude. And I'm pretty sure my life got better. I'm gonna start being responsible at work and shit like that. And you know what I did on my 1 year anniversary? I went to celebrate with friends at the Hop, and I got fucking tore up, man. 1 year, I took my chip, man, and I wasn't planning on drinking.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on drinking. It just so happened that night, birthday night, my 1 year chip that I went to go pick up. That same night, some fellas were gonna meet at the Hop, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll go after. I'm gonna go pick up my chip, man. I'll be back." I didn't plan on drinking. I'm in AA, right?
Yeah.
And we went and I think some chick was like, buy me a drink, big boy, or something like that. I was like, sure. And then, hey, man, you gonna have a drink with me? Right? I was like, why not? You know what I mean? I'll just have one. You know what I mean? And that's how the first one when I started, that's the first time I went to AA or something like that. And that's how it happened to me when I put a year together. I put a year together that one time. Of course, I tried to stop before, but anyway, this is your story. So, and then after that, and then what happened, Zach?
As I got lost. Where was
Oh, you were at the 30-day mark that
the
you say,
30-day
hey, I
mark.
want to drink. I'll just drink.
Yeah, I wasn't really taking it serious at that time. As far as I guess I'm concerned now, I haven't really relapsed.
Mhm.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. So I just didn't really put that much thought into it.
Mhm.
So I would just go, I would get drunk, and I would go back to the meetings, and I did that for, about, like I said, 2 years.
Mhm.
And then I just quit going, and the madness ensued for another 15 years or something like
Really?
that.
So what happened within that 15-year span? I mean, was there any jails, any institutions?
No, I've never really been to jail. I got
Really?
I got picked up for a DWI one time.
Mhm.
Was reduced to reckless driving.
Mhm.
That was really the only other charge that I ever got
Mhm.
until until I had to quit.
Mhm.
Well, what happened?
So this prior time for what?
Okay.
What's going on?
Did
now?
you have a push? What made you realize that you needed assistance?
Oh, that's
what-
where you're going with it.
Was it you just woke up one day, or
So what had happened was
What happened was
just like my good buddy Raul told me, I got them people in my life. So that you were right, and I got caught up with the law on some. God, I had a really retarded night, and yeah, that happened. So I caught a. Should I say that?
I mean, it's up to you. You only say what you want to say.
Okay, well,
what you feel comfortable with. Yeah,
I mean,
man.
so
yeah.
I caught a charge, and yeah, so I'm on probation now. That's the way it is. So,
Yeah.
No.
So do you feel like if you wouldn't have caught that charge, would you be in the position that you are in right now?
no, I would still be tore up, headed for a brick wall.
So are you thankful that in some way that happened?
Absolutely, yeah. So life is great right now. I mean, I couldn't have imagined life being this good, being sober. So, I mean, yeah, that's all I.
How
I
much
can
time
say
do you have
about
you
it.
put together so far?
I'm 5 months sober right now.
5. Is this the longest you've been sober?
Yeah, in my entire life.
Really?
Or my entire career.
I mean, your entire career. This has been a career. Yeah. So this has been a career change, right? For you. this has been a career change
I
for
was
you.
certainly a professional.
Yeah. So yeah, you too. That's awesome, man. 5 years, dude. That's awesome, man. You know what? That's nothing to step on, man. That's
Months.
That's amazing. Five
Yeah, 5
months,
months.
even 5 months. Heck, Zach, 1 day is amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
2 days, 2 weeks is amazing, man. I'm gonna tell you something, dude. I couldn't stay clean no more than 3 days, bro. 3 fucking days. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I could stop. I just couldn't stay stopped, man. You know what I mean? 5 months, dude. I mean, that is a miracle for Zach, for me in the beginning, right?
Mhm.
It's a miracle, dude. You should be proud of yourself, and I think you are. You know
Yeah.
what? That's an amazing. And if you're starting to see the difference, man. If you're starting to see the difference in your life, man, that it just gets better. It gets fucking better, man. Way better.
Yeah, it gets better every day.
You know, I shared with Raul. I don't know if you have any kids or not, man, but I'm gonna tell you what, dude, the best thing for me in my recovery, man, is getting my kids back.
Mhm.
You know, getting my kids back and being in their life. You know, I was locked up. I was locked up with this old dude that was in from Huntsville on a bench warrant. He came into town he had to do some he had to go back to court for whatever reason, right? And I used to say to myself, oh yeah, man, I did my drugs, but I was always I never left my kids alone. And I had explained everything to him. I used to get high in the garage, right? And he says, Cruz, you're so full of shit, man. I was like, what are you talking about, man? Because you weren't there. You weren't there. I said, I was there, man. I was there getting high, but I was there. I was feeding my kid Roman noodles, and I put them in front of the TV, my little girl. He goes, you weren't there, man. Your body was there, but emotionally, you weren't there. When could they come to their daddy for whatever, right? They knock on the door. Would you answer it? No, I wouldn't answer it, man. You know what I mean? So I was like, and it pissed me off. It pissed me off. I was like, man, whatever, dude, whatever. But dude, after thinking about it for a while, I was like, man, I got sad. I was like, he's absolutely right, man. I would make these excuses, And the greatest thing for me, man, is that today I'm in my kid's life, man. That's for me, They say that we do we do this for ourselves, man. I don't. I do it for my kids.
Right.
I do, man, because like I said, I don't know if you have any kids or not. And I lost my kids for a while. Now I can't get rid of them. You know, I went and shared it one time, and I got cats that come into our group. They're like, oh, I have to go see my kids under adult supervision in Angleton. I was like, yeah, you too, me too. You know what I mean? I've got pictures that just in 2012, man. I'm going to show you something, man. And it's, check this out. In fact, this just came through my timeline. I don't know, y'all can't see it, but this brought tears to me, man. See this picture right there? This is at the safe house 11 years ago. This is the safe house where I had to go see my daughters. There she is.
She said, watch it, mister.
Watch it, mister. See, I brought her. This is my daughter crying because this is at the Brazoria County home there where everybody went there to see their kids under supervised visitation. You know, that I gave her a gift and she cried and she didn't want to cry. But man, that was 11 years ago. 11 years ago when I had to go see my children, you know, look, right?
Yeah. Damn.
And when that came through my timeline, May 16th, it was just May, right? 2011, man. You know, I was like, look where I'm at today. Now, 3 years later, I'm sharing at a group. I'm going, I couldn't see my children. Blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going, I came home one day. I was like, hey, how long have you been here? 3 months, all summer long. Where's your mother at? Go home. You know what I mean? That's what my recovery got me, man. You know, and I joke about it, right? But you know, anyway, that's part of my story.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm so grateful, man. Like I said, hey, when you told me about the 5 months, man, it's amazing, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
5 months, right? Now 5 years. I said 5 years earlier. Yeah.
Hey, so Carlos said, good job, Zach. Good job, brother Zach.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Amazing job, man. Amazing job.
Jeff said, good for you, Zach. Keep it going. You have folks that are behind you all the way.
Right on.
And Ray said, Zach.
Zach, that's all. Just Zach.
Yeah.
That's it. Zach.
Yeah, man. Let me finish telling a little bit about your story, man. So you did some time in the military.
Yeah.
And you got out because of you had issues, right?
Yeah. Some of those were related to drugs and alcohol. Most of them, I guess. And you know, just being wild and yeah, that happened. So
In the military.
yeah. So I was discharged for pattern of misconduct. I failed drug tests. I got in people's faces a lot. It was just ridiculous behavior. So yeah, and then after that, I came back to Houston, and I raised my son until he was 13, or I was with my ex-wife until he was about 13, to build that relationship. And I kind of toned it down. I just drank beer, did all that, but I was still, blacking out all the time. There's still pictures of me like it's just shameful. And that's something that you were talking about too. And really towards the end, I just saw everybody just disappearing from around me, and it was miserable. It was really miserable. And now that I'm clean and sober, I see those people coming back, and it's a great experience. Yeah, and it just gets better every day.
I get my two brothers went to they went to the Eagles concert. The Eagles were here. You're probably too young to know who the Eagles are, but
yeah, Hotel California.
I know, yeah. So yeah, they were Risto and Jose. They went to the Eagles concert, man, and I'm they're at the concert, and they're like double fisting these big beers, right? And they're chugging them down and everything, and then they're after the concert, they're having a good time, just chugging beers and blah blah blah. I'm going, man, them some bitches didn't invite me, man. But you know what I was thinking to myself? I was like, I felt a little messed up, right? But then I got to thinking, man, I had a moment of clarity. I was like, you know what? They just wanted that. Dude, they're not like me. They
Mhm.
can control their drinking, even though they were doing stupid shit, right? But with stupid shit with limitations. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know if everybody's ever heard that before, but me, I would drink and keep drinking all night, possibly the next day, and then I go off with the hotel and all that kind of other shit, right? But no, they drink, they do stupid shit, and then they go eat dinner, they cut it off, then go home, go to sleep, right? But I was like, man, and then I was thinking to myself, well, maybe they didn't want to. They didn't want to tempt me, right? By going, they knew they were going to go act stupid and whatever, act stupid responsibly, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's the deal, right? Sometimes our friends don't want to tell. I don't get invited. I see where some of my friends throwing a party, and I say, hey, I'll call them up, say, hey man, what's up, man? How come you invite me? They're like, oh dude, well you're in the program, man. I don't want to, I said, dude, look, invite me. I know when to leave. I go to the party. I'll bring a gift. Bring my wife. I don't go alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I bring my wife. Bring a gift for your child, and then around 8, about 9:30ish, 10 is my exit always, because after 10:30, 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock is when the freaks come out. The people that I like. You know what I mean? That's the shit that I like. You know what I mean? And I know myself. So. The freaks come out at night. That's what I like. You know what I mean? So I once it gets dark at night and that moon the shit starts howling and all that shit, I go home. You know what I mean? And I put those locks on and I go to bed. Make sure I don't get out. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I don't know why I brought all that up, but that was just an example of what with my brother. I see a lot of people have fun, and I'm okay with it, man. I have fun in other ways now today. Hell, one day I was like, I went to my group and I told one of my group members, I was like, hey, guess what Ricky Cruz did this weekend? What? I went to a museum. I went to get some fucking culture. You know what I mean? I'm standing there.
He said fucking culture.
Yeah. Whatever, right? Yeah, I'm standing there looking at Nietzsche, a picture of this, that, and the other. I'm going, look at this shit, man. What I'm doing today, man. You know what I mean? I would never be interested in stuff like that before, man. I never had the time. My life was just so fast, and I was trying to make up for stupid shit I was doing. I never had time to smell the coffee, man. And that's what I'm doing today. And I bet you're starting to see a lot of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff. So
he's a complete different person, man.
Zach is?
Yeah. And he doesn't know it, but I watch him. I've always looked out for him. I've always made sure he was good. I would get phone calls late at night and it would scare me because I would think that it was about this fool.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I got a soft spot in my heart for this guy, but I mean, sometimes I mean, there's been times where I wanted to punch him in the face. Yeah. But he's a good dude.
He's a good dude. Yeah. And I could tell, man, I'm having a hard time seeing him lit up for some fucking reason, man. I just can't picture it.
Check Facebook. Just check Facebook somewhere. I'm sure there's videos.
Yeah, there's videos.
Yeah. We'll leave that one alone, man. Yeah, we'll leave that one alone. So, yeah.
Jesse said not only addictions, drinking becomes part of the norm, part of normal life. Everything gets associated with alcohol.
Everything gets associated. Well, I mean, everything gets associated. You're right. It gets associated with alcohol for people. But you know what, dude? The beauty is about recovery is, man, that we're living a different life. We don't live life like society says that we're supposed to live life. You know what I mean? Dude, it's like, when I got married, dude, everybody that I know are big drinkers, even my family. But there was no alcohol at my wedding. I didn't buy no alcohol, and I didn't allow no alcohol at my wedding. As for a moment, I was like, well, I'll let them bring the nice chest, their own nice chest, they can drink, whatever. But I said, no, I want no alcohol at my wedding. I don't want nothing of the shit that almost took my life and took my children. I want nothing to do with it anymore, man. My mom, one time when I got out of recovery, I went to live with my mom because I had nothing. I lost my home. I hit rock bottom, bro. Rock bottom. I went underneath the barrel. They talk about the bottom of the barrel. No, I was underneath that motherfucker. But living with my mom, man, I remember I was on probation, and probation was the best thing the third best thing. Going to jail was the first best thing. Okay. And then getting some time to myself to think about things all those months. And then being on probation was the second best thing for my recovery. Anyway, I was living upstairs. I remember my mom, it was Friday evening. They were having a get together in her. She had a dining room, and then she had a little room, another like a dining, like a kitchen room before you walked outside the house. And I remember walking downstairs. I was gonna go somewhere, possibly a meeting. And this is like a year or so that without to get out of but back to Pearland. And as I'm walking out, she goes, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" She goes, "Go down to the store before you leave and buy us an 18-pack of beer," right? And she hands me the money in front of my family members and stuff. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, my automatic thing is to go, yeah, sure, yeah, right, And I was like, okay, yeah. And I walk out, I'm like, I don't want to. You know what, man? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I called my mom. I actually knocked on the window. I was like, hey, come outside. She goes, hey, what's up? I said, look, man, I can't buy the beer. She goes, oh, that's right. You're on probation. I said, no, mom, it's got nothing to do with that. I think I can buy beer. I don't know. Maybe I can. Yeah. I just don't want to. Dude, I started to protect myself like that. And I took that I don't want to. I don't want to buy it. And today, man, I go to restaurants. If I go to a restaurant and you're my guest, let's say y'all are all my guests, and one of my guests, for some reason, wants to have a drink, right? And when I invite people, I pay, right? I will pay for everybody's dinner, but I will ask for a separate check, and they have to pay for their own drinks. I won't pay for it.
You know, I started doing that because of you.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't ever put two and two together like that until you said it, and then I started doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm the same way. I won't, I'll be like, different check.
Dude, it's just, to me, it's just, that's just what that's what I truly believe, man. Why am I going to support something that was so harmful to me? Fuck that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I got you. That makes sense.
But anyway, so where do we leave off with you, Zach?
So probably where I got a divorce.
Okay. Well, tell us, do you mind sharing with now? And look, man, you don't have to share anything you don't want to share. Did you getting divorced have anything to do with any of your addictions or demons that you were dealing with?
Yeah. Well, I'll say it like this. When I got divorced, so I was trying to keep it kind of, I don't know. I was trying to keep it toned down when I was, married and trying to raise my son and things like that. What I thought I was doing was raising my son, but like you had said, I wasn't really there. I was drunk all the time. So when I got a divorce, it was a free for all. I didn't feel like I had any responsibilities.
Do you mind if I ask you if your wife divorced you, or you divorced her, or was it a mutual thing? Because my wife divorced me at that time.
Well, I had tried to file for divorce from her
before that.
Way before that. She went at Stein and all that. So I mean, we were on and off kind of for the entire marriage, but. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we'll go ahead and say that she divorced me.
Right. I mean, that's usually the way it works for most of us. I'm just, they get tired of our shit finally. Yeah. I mean, at least I don't know. Maybe yours different. For me, my wife finally got tired of my shit. All my promises, broken dreams and promises and whatnots. And I guess leaving them financially fucking broke wasn't good either. You know what I mean? Yeah. But from not working and spending all the money on shit like that. So you got divorced. You were getting divorced.
Yeah, I got divorced, and I moved back into the house that I grew up in
with your parents.
Yeah. Well, my grandma. Yeah.
Right.
So I was there and just kind of going out of control, drunk all the time.
Was your grandmother still alive when you were living there?
Yeah, she's still alive today.
Okay.
So. Yeah, and that was it. Just went just out of control. I started bartending at the bar that we met at, the VFW, and
you were bartending.
Yeah,
double whammy. Double whammy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was a welder.
Uh-huh.
I think it was like 2015, the oil business tank.
Mm-hmm.
So I was divorced. I wasn't really accountable to anybody. I was
Mhm.
bartending, so drugs were okay to do. So I thought,
Yeah, they were okay to do.
You had
I don't
no
know.
responsibility.
Yeah.
You were living at your grandma's house, so she was paying the bills.
right. So
Yeah.
I
Whatever.
To
Yeah.
hell with everything. So
Right.
and I just went the hell out of control. And
Was your grandfather? Was your grandfather there too, or just your
no,
grandmother?
he died a long time ago.
Okay.
Yes. So,
Right.
started bartending. I left the bar. I worked there for about 2 years, and I really wasn't doing drugs. I was smoking weed. Like that's not a drug, right? But just drinking and smoking.
You know what I
and-
said.
I'm all right. No drugs,
No
just
drugs,
weed.
just weed. Yeah, write that one down, man. I was just doing weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I left the bar, and where I really went south is I picked up a job at a liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember that, Raul. You used to come check on me all the time. But
Hey, so he's working. He's working at the liquor store,
Uh-huh.
consuming product like it's going out of style.
Mhm.
So I laugh now because it's funny, and I partaked in activities that were there also.
At the liquor store.
Yeah.
Was there any midget prostitutes?
No, but
No.
there was a lot of
It's still with the midget prostitutes with this guy. Yeah.
there was a lot of taste samples.
At the liquor, right? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting it. Right.
But I mean, we took it to an extreme.
Really?
Yeah, and then even he would do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I as I got older, I started to drink and do crazy shit, and then I would be out of commission for like 2 days
Right.
because I would get the most serious hangovers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But
So after the second day, after the third day, would you drink again?
I mean, I would swear up and down I wouldn't.
But you would.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
There's that vicious cycle they talk
Yeah.
about, right?
Well, it's like, I mean, you won't ask for help. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Even if you know you need help,
Mhm.
you have to find that out on your own.
Right.
And
So I have to ask, with you working at the liquor store, that's a party. That's a adult party every day, right? Were you
all
drinking
day,
there?
every day. Yeah.
Really?
I drank from the time I
Did any of your bosses know you were drinking? I mean, do you when you work at a liquor store, do they ask you anything? I would assume they would. I would ask, do you have any problems with alcohol? I mean, that's what I would ask people, right? Did they ask you a question like that when you got hired?
No. It was a family owned.
Oh, right.
They
Okay.
had never really done that before, so
So
I don't
you
know
went
if
to
they
work
had
for
that
that. So
experience.
your family members owned the liquor store.
No, they're
Oh.
not my family, but it was a family owned liquor store. It
Right.
wasn't like a big.
They had no
chain.
rules.
Yeah, I didn't come in and speak with the. I just talked straight to the owner.
The owner's like, "Hey, man, I need some help. Get over there and stock some shit."
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and I knew what I was doing,
Right.
as far as the register and stock and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, so he pretty much gave me control of that.
Mhm.
And
So how do you?
turn
So
out
did
pretty-
he have inventory? I guess electronic inventory, so you could probably open up a bottle and then and probably put water in it and cover it back up or something, or some shit like that, or no?
No, I mean there was
Because that's the kind of shit I used to do at home. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Pop
yeah.
the bottle, put drinks in it, and dilute it with water. But
no, I mean we didn't do all that because
Uh-huh.
we had tastings all the time, and we always had open product. If you didn't want to get your own, but I would just buy my own bottle and I just didn't drink it on the cameras,
Mhm.
and I would go in.
So you're drinking during the day?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and
okay.
I had the keys to the place. I was there from open to close, and I just
You love going to work then.
yeah.
You look forward to going to work.
Right when I opened the door, I was 5 shots deep already.
Really?
I mean,
Wow.
and did that from 10 in the morning to 9 at night. And
Wow. Hey, would you ever get like shit faced during work? I mean, could people tell you were like slurring your words? Would you get like that? Because I mean, right?
Usually not.
No.
Usually not. There was maybe 1 or 2 incidents when I had to leave.
Yeah.
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 I remember the police being called in a certain incident.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was yeah, there was that one.
There was that one. There was that one. I forgot all about
That
it.
was one of them. And yeah, I had to leave that day, and I know was no longer employed at the liquor store.
Oh, okay. So did you leave or were asked to leave?
I was asked to leave.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like the way you charged the word to the
I was
beginning.
asked
Yeah.
very politely
By the Fairland Police Department to leave, yeah, or the police department to leave.
It was good old Pearland.
Yeah.
No, well,
yeah.
see, I know a lot of people would be seeing his face and
Mhm.
remember, oh, that's that fool. You know, that's that dude who was messed up doing this, doing that. But he's clean and he's sober. Go ahead, what you say?
No, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, I'm listening.
And they don't know him the way his people know him. You know what I mean?
No, I
Like,
don't.
okay,
You
like-
lost me a little bit.
Like people see like, oh man, last time I saw that fool, he was running naked in the streets or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right,
Well, because he probably was.
right.
But he's clean now and he's sober
Right.
and he's a different dude. Of course we all are, but I feel like that's the way people remember him. And they're re-meeting him.
They're re-meeting, but see, that's the beauty, bro. Is
Yeah.
that the beauty? There was this meme that it said, "If you knew me," and I think you saw that before.
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
knew me in my drinking days, I'm sorry. Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, dude? A lot of the stuff. I think that dude, with things start, they become history. We become what we are today. You know what I mean? You know, hell, at one time, man, I think some of my teachers and fellow whatever didn't think I would probably be alive today, man. You know what I mean? A rookie, he says. Jesse, you know Jesse?
Yeah, he knows.
You know Jesse, or does Jesse know him?
Just
Yeah,
he
yeah.
know. Yeah,
Hey,
Jesse
Mac
knows
had a question.
Yeah.
Mac had a question that says, were there any moments? Were there any moments of clarity after the divorce, living at your grandma's house? Was there any moments of clarity where you would sit and? Can you answer that for us?
Any moments of clarity? Not a whole lot.
No.
Not a whole lot. I resigned myself to what I was doing. I mean, there were times like you had said the next day when you're like, oh God, what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
But not really. I never thought like, hey, I need to stop doing this. Not until I got caught up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much no.
So no, you never. When you were at your grandma's house and got divorced, you never said, "Oh man, I better get my shit together and you know, better stop this shit." No, you just kept going.
Nope. I was full on.
No,
This
well, I
is-
appreciate
this
the
is where I'm
honesty,
going,
man. Yeah. What
is-
Jesse says, you
What is that
motorized-
noise?
I don't know. Is that you?
Is that me?
Yeah, that is you. Yeah. So okay, so you got divorced. Okay, you were working at the liquor store, and then so what happens after you get us? You're asked politely to leave from that job. Was there an incident? Did something happen? You don't have to come into a detail, but did you get into an argument with a coworker or with a or with a patron or?
It's just strange you say that. I think there was an anonymous call, and I think it was from a coworker that I had gotten belligerent with.
Mhm.
We'll just say that.
Right.
So I think that's what happened.
There was an issue with a
Yeah.
coworker, right? And
I-
then
that's what I
That's what you
personally
think,
believe,
right.
But
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It
Right.
doesn't even matter.
Right.
I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing.
no, of
So,
course,
whatever.
right, right. But it wasn't because you were drinking at work,
Well,
or it has that came to light
yeah.
after that, right? And then you were asked to leave. So what happens after that?
So
You leave there.
Yeah. So after the liquor store, I was full on physically addicted, DTs, to alcohol,
Mhm.
and I jumped around from, job to job. I couldn't keep a job because I was
Mhm.
always trashed. And it was just
They used to living at your grandma's house.
yeah.
Did your grandmother ever approach you and tell you, "Hey, what's going on, man? You know, no, yes or no?"
No,
No.
she would tell me that I needed to quit drinking.
Right.
She's goes to church, super Christian. She would tell me like, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But now and never like a sit down like, hey, what is going on with you? Has your life come to? Anything
Mhm.
like that. It was just you need to quit drinking. So yeah, so that never really happened the way maybe it should have. But
Would you
so,
say to a certain extent that your grandmother probably enabled you, or no?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a typical thing like what the denial, I guess.
Hmm.
Things like that. Even though she didn't approve of what I was doing, she would never admit that she would never openly address the issue. Like
Right.
that.
Right.
So, yeah.
She also wouldn't kick you out.
Right. And no. And
No.
I would always have a place to stay. There would be
Really.
none of that stuff.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else?
Let me see.
Jesse's retarded.
What did he say?
He's bringing up old stories, man.
Oh, bring it up, man. Come on,
He said-
break it down.
He says, "There's a police officer, rookie, Raul's best friend." He says, "Hey, Mr. Moreno, get up against the wall." And I was just walking out of Walmart.
Uh-huh.
We didn't do nothing wrong.
Who? You and who, Jesse?
Well, me and Jesse were together a lot,
Uh-huh.
and we hung out.
Uh-huh.
And there was a man. This was many years ago, man. Shoot, at least me. I think I was in my teens still, maybe
Mhm.
20s,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 20s. And there was a police officer who was brand new to the force. And when I first met him, I called him out on it. And he goes, "How did you know?"
What do you mean you called him out on it? What does that mean?
"Hey man, it's your first day or something."
Oh,
like that.
right, okay.
So we didn't get off on I was messed up.
Yeah.
And we didn't get off on
Yeah, we're at Walmart.
Well, no, this was somewhere else.
Okay,
Yeah, but I kept running into the same police officer because
Right.
it was Pearland.
Right.
And this was in the early 2000s, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we were a lot smaller too, so they didn't have as many police officers.
Right.
And I would always run into the same cop, and every time he saw me, he'd give me a problem. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I was probably always doing something wrong. But
Right.
so we would call him the rookie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he 20 years ago. Jesse said, "Yeah."
Oh yeah. And he threw you against the wall or no?
Yeah. Well, I think I went to jail that night.
You went
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
the from the rookie, huh? The rookie took you to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember why, but yeah, that
Oh,
was crazy times.
Old time. So
Yeah.
we're you quit you quit the bar, not the bar, the liquor store, and from there, tell us this, man, since we only have about we've got about 8 minutes left on this. Tell us, fast forward, tell us to where you're at now. What got you to where you're at now to your 5 months? Tell us as best as you can without
Okay.
revealing too much, if you don't want.
All right. Well, no, it's no problem. I got a felony charge for drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was enrolled in the Veterans Court program.
Mm-hmm. So you're in the
and-
same program that Raul was in.
Mhm.
Okay. You're still in it now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and like you said, it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Mhm. And you're doing the deal. I think Raul has said that I think the girl that was here before, she said that it's a program of what, like 90 days or 30 days?
No, it's a year, a year.
Is it a
2
year?
years.
But it could be
Well,
more
it
if
can
you're
be-
not doing
yeah.
your work. So how long is your program supposed to be?
Vet court, it's I'm not sure exactly how long it is.
So
I-
did
I'd
you
have
get
to
that
check the
because you were in the
paperwork.
military? You're in that program because you're in the
Right,
military?
Yeah, I
Okay.
qualified for the Veterans Court
Right.
because I was in the military,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. The
Yeah.
people really care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess as do most people in court in these programs.
Right.
So the Veterans Court sent me to Pathway to Recovery
Mm-hmm.
for 90 days.
Right.
And so I had to sit in front of a mirror. I had to work the steps and work all of this nonsense inside of me out. And I came out 2 months ago, and here I sit. And life is really great. I took a hold of what was going on, what they were telling me, and I've changed the way that I think about life and situations that show up, and I can't say enough how great recovery is and being sober.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I actually drove him there.
Yeah.
To Veterans Court.
No, to
court.
jail.
To jail. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he wasn't ready, man. And he was still at this, like, hey man, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let me know, man, because if you're gonna run, I'm not gonna make a drive all the way up there. Just do it now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Send me some gas, man.
Yeah,
Gas is,
yeah.
$7.55 a gallon. Yeah.
So he was still in a
It's scary though.
well, it is
It's
scary.
scary. I
Well,
thought about running too.
it did-
before I turned myself in.
during COVID,
Yeah.
it's a complete different thing. Because
Why?
before he could go to right?
Before I went to inpatient, I had to go sit in jail. Is that
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to go make sure he do a COVID test and sit in jail for 3 days, and then they would transfer him over to the recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So he was telling me, like, I want to run, I want to do this, and I was like, man, do it. If you want to do it, do it. I'm not. I wasn't preaching to him because I felt like he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to take the responsibility, and he was still blaming everybody and their mama, then taking responsibility for his actions.
Right.
So he probably don't know this, but the court came to me and they said, "Hey, we want you to look after him," and I said no.
Hell no.
Yeah, I said no. I said, well,
Yeah.
because I said no, they were like, why? I said, well, because I know him and he's not ready. So they put him in the recovery house, right? And he called me probably like maybe 45 days in, man, and was like, he was reading the book to me, and his voice sounded different. And I was like, this motherfucker's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Doing the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was happy for him, man. I was like, yeah, I mean, because his life's about to change.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I see him now, and it's you know how you say like a baby deer is walking for the first time? It's something like amazing to witness or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what it is, dude.
Yeah.
Like just sitting back watching this guy, I'm like, man, this man's got especially because he's so stubborn and hard-headed. There's no limit to the potential that he can reach right now. You know what I mean? It's awesome to be on this part, seeing
change,
seeing where he was,
witnessing the miracle, man. Witnessing all that stuff, man.
Picking up, I picked him up. Local bars would call me and be like, "Hey, come get him," and I'll be like, "All right," or "Hey, so and so's acting crazy, come get him." And these were different places,
right? Yeah, they knew that your regulars already. Too, right?
So
So you would get him and take him to his grandma's house.
Yeah.
Drop him off, and you made sure he was inside.
Well, would
he leave? Would he leave again?
I was scared of his grandma's house because
Really?
it freaks me out. Bro.
Right.
I think it's haunted, man.
Yeah.
And so I would make sure he got in the gate.
Yeah.
And then
you
close the gate and run out. Yeah. So when there was one time, man, I closed the gate and I drove off, and something told me, he was like, "Man, turn around, bro." So I went around and I came back. I looked. I said, "Shit." I said, "Man, something laying in the road." It was this fool.
No.
Yeah, man. I was like, "Dang."
Passed out or what?
Done.
No shit.
Yeah.
He tried. After you put him in, he left. He's trying to
left.
leave, and he passed out on the road.
Yeah, he just sit right there, man.
Oh, wow.
But like speaking with him, like he's an intelligent guy. He actually he I mean, Sorry, I said actually, like it's not like it's surprising. He's an intelligent guy, and he's got so much to offer, man, and he's barely seeing his potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm excited to witness. Like I said, man, a year ago he would.
Dude, I can tell. I mean, he's just sitting there real calm and cool and collective, man. Most cats up with about 6 months are like, and can't sit still and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I see the way you talk. He has an eye contact and everything, man. That's yeah. I mean, if you've got 5 months clean, man, you got some shit going for yourself, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that, I mean, you're a thinker. I can tell you're thinking you can do two things at once. You know what I mean? No, for real. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that, man. But listen, man, we're coming to the end of the road. We're actually right on time, man. Let's see. Let's take a question. We've got somebody who's the last one that said something.
It's Jesse. He's reminiscing.
He's reminiscing, man.
Yeah.
Right?
He said, no damn reason at Walmart. I just walked out the door. Yeah.
So with that being said, man, is there any last words you wanna add to that, Zach? Or you, Raul?
No, say something.
Say
Zach.
something, man. Tell us what ended with, man. What's in the future for you, man, from here on. Tell us what's in store for you in the near future, nothing far, just near. In the next 2-3 months, next month. Fuck it, just the next 2 weeks.
Just stay sober. And
do the deal.
Do the right thing. Yeah.
Right. Do the next right thing.
Continue working the steps.
Yeah.
You have a sponsor,
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
You do, really? Look at this guy, man. No, get out of here, man. No, man. No shit.
Yeah.
Dude, why didn't you tell me, man, that you're a sponsor, man?
Yeah, I just try to help him when I can.
That's all right.
Man.
Look at this, man.
Yeah.
Surprise,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
I try to help him. He's a good dude. Now that he's listening and he's teaching me also.
No wonder he's so quiet.
Yeah.
He's like, man, dude, that's the best thing because you know all about him. You can help him.
Yeah.
Because you know
that's a good and a bad
there
thing.
is nothing that he can keep from you, man. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. You know how my sponsor was able to help me, man? When I went to him, and you know that a lot of people say to me that I'm very clear about what I say, right? I like people when I speak to someone, I want them to know exactly what I mean, right? I'm very clear on what the message I'm trying to get across, right? But the way my sponsor was able to help me, man, is because I sat down with him, man, and I told him a lot of shit, and I told him some things that only he knows about me that he took to his grave. No one else in the world knows about it, man. Something that I'm very ashamed of. You know what I mean? And other things that I've done in my life. With that, when I opened up with him to that, man, he was able to help me because he got deep inside my head to see how I click. You know what I mean? And that was to me the key. If you can't get honest with someone, man, about how your feelings are, as men, today, dude, I'm not afraid. I tell everybody, I told Raul, man, today, Zach, somebody starts trouble with me, I'm going to walk away. I used to accommodate people, you know what I mean? On a fist fight because, you hurt my ego, man. I'm going to protect it.
Right.
Yeah.
Today, not today, man. I like my freedom. I like keeping my money in my pocket, not in the attorney's pocket. I like to spend my money with my children. I and all of that, man. So I learned to live again, man. And that's to me, the person that saved my life was my sponsor. It was. And reaching out, having a support group, man. Because my sponsor wasn't always available. Sometimes he didn't answer me. I was in tight spots. So it's always good to have a support group. You know what I mean? And so Raul is a dear friend of mine, man, and I'm sure he'll give you my number, man. If he's never available, you can give me a shout. You always have an open call for me anytime. You know what I mean? Let you know. Any good friend of Raul is a great friend of mine. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, one question before we go. What would you
All
tell
right.
yourself 2 years ago?
Oh wow, great question.
What would I tell myself?
If you
2
could,
years ago?
if you could talk to Zach 2 years ago, what would you say to him right now?
I'd say don't worry about it. Keep doing what you're doing until you're ready. I don't know.
Well, you didn't finish the sentence.
Oh,
It says, what would you tell
oh,
yourself
to-
2 years ago to encourage our vets going through the addiction now? What would be your advice?
I mean, I just said that because I know how I am, and I wasn't gonna listen 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So, I mean, for anybody that's going through it, just hang on. I mean, get help. Realize that
Ask for help.
Yeah, ask for help. I mean, that's
Key.
yeah, that's the most important thing you could ever do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
That phone, they say that weighs a ton.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would say.
That's great advice.
Somebody on their day one sobriety right now, what do you say to him or her?
Day one, just don't think too hard. Don't think too hard.
Yeah. There you go. Stay out
Take
of
it
your own
easy.
head, man.
Yeah,
Stay
take-
out of your head.
Take it easy
Yeah.
and do the damn thing. Don't don't be hard on
Give
yourself.
yourself a break, man.
Yeah, give yourself a break.
Dude, you're doing this thing, man. Look at this guy, man. This guy's y'all have been talking, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
said, he's
all
a smart.
right,
He's a
man.
smart guy, bro.
But dude, you
And
could be
just-
listen, man, being smart and getting this recovery thing, man, it's actually the people that think they're too smart are
Right.
the ones that don't get it.
Okay, yes,
And then,
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah,
they,
yeah.
they told me the same thing. They Cruz, you know what? You're gonna fail. You know why? Because you think you're too smart. You think you know it all. You know what I mean? It's being open-minded. You know what I mean? Open-minded and taking the new suggestions on how to live again. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he is smart. Hopefully, he's smart enough to know better, right? There's a thing that shit that they always told me.
Yeah.
Hope you're smart enough to know better, but you ain't. They used to tell me. But yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
man. With that
being said, right.
we're gonna close it out again. Thank you for tuning in to From the Big House to the Penthouse, Stories of Addiction and Recovery. If you missed it, it'll be available on podcast platforms as of tomorrow. And if you haven't, be sure to like and share us on Facebook. Check out the YouTube. As always, your host Enrique Ricky
And my
Cruz.
co-host Raul Moreno.
And thank you, Zach,
thank you for our special guest, Zach. Man, thank you for coming by. Absolutely.
and Ricky.
Yes.
The lie's dead.
Yes, we do recover.
We do recover.